feeling like I'm Akademiks. Can't ride no way.
Anyway, I'm outside doing my thing. Okay, I keep telling you that's how I get my little workout. I know some of y'all gonna be like, nigga, you ain't working out, man. You're on that Ozemp. Fuck it. Cool. But I get a call from Joe Budden today. Yeah, today I get a call from Joe. Joe's on the podcast. Now, usually when I get a call from Joe, he's not on the podcast. The calls I get from Joe, we kind of shoot the shit. We rap offline. Why? He's going to be privy to certain things. I'm going to be privy to certain things. And one thing me and Joe have always had in common, we share information. You know, going back to the everyday struggle days when he was hell-bent on leaving. And, you know, they didn't tell me he was leaving, but they were coming to me with offers. He told me, hey, listen, I think I'm going to bounce. And I also told him, hey, this is what they're offering. And, you know, we both got on the same page, which was actually beneficial for both of us. Because he definitely told me, he said, yo, hit these motherfuckers over the head. You're the only show in town. They can't do nothing. So me and Joe has always had a great relationship. I don't know if it's the Adin Ross stuff or whatever recently. Joe called me today, and if y'all watch this podcast, I guess it'll be out tomorrow. And he's like, yo, I'm on the Joe Budden podcast. And I'm like, I've seen this, but you've never done that to me. You usually just invite me there. Why? Because I'm in Jersey. But I don't know if I'm welcome at a Joe Budden podcast right now because, well, me and Mark, I think we're cool. But, you know what I mean, at first he was bucking crazy, but he chilled out. But the other masculine, man-looking bitch over there, the Mona, the crackhead one, me and her don't get along. You get what I'm saying? I'm waiting for her to die of an overdose. So I'm like, maybe I'm not welcome because he got some new guests that don't fuck with me. I fuck with Flip. I fuck with Ish. Yeah, I fuck with the rest of them, but yeah. So I get the call. And the call, Joe says to me, yo, Ak, I'm on the Joe Budden podcast. I'm like, oh, shit. What up? I never know I was a phoner. I thought I was if you got to talk to Ak, you'd be like, yo, Ak, pull up tomorrow. And I do pull up. I do pull up. But he wanted to have a phoner today. And he said, Ak, I just want to make sure everything's good. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, I've seen some things. I'm like, what have you seen? And he said, you know, I've seen a bunch of things that I don't know where you stand with me. And I was really shocked when he said that because me and Joe, we locked in. Put it like this. You remember them bum-ass niggas, Rory and Millie Moore. I destroyed Rory's life and Millie Moore, he's just Jay-Z's pre-cum, right? When it was that time, Joe was given certain criticism as well, but Joe's my guy. Like, me and Joe, we have a rapport. If Joe says something, you who don't know me, who has no accolades, no experience, and also who is jealous because I did a show with Joe, Everyday Struggle, I'm going to take what you're saying differently. Anyway, so Joe called me. He's like, I want to make sure we're good. And I was like, why? He's like, I'm seeing some stuff. So what do you see? So I'm seeing you around people. And I feel like he was dancing around and he didn't want to talk about Adin. He was like, I'm seeing people talk about me. And you're not kind of like bucking up like I feel like you should. Like you're not saying, hey, that's my man Joe. That's my man's. Relax. Calm it down. Simmer. Which I agreed with him. I do agree. Because him and Adin's been going back and forth. I think you guys have seen that. But truthfully speaking, I understand he has a bunch of people on his podcast that not everybody likes me. I think Ice likes me, I think. And Ish, we're like, those guys I'm really cool with. I really like them, by the way. Thought they were the best replacements for the bums. Rory and Millie Moore. But Mark, I haven't talked to him in person. Flip is cool. Is Melissa still on there? No, I think she's out of there. But then they have like this crackhead chick who talks a lot. I don't know. When they give their hateful comments about me, I don't expect Joe to be like, yo, don't talk about Act like that. That's my really close friend who we've done the best hip-hop show of all time. No, I understand that Joe doesn't personally feel like that, but he has a platform and he has a different bunch of people. And, he might shoot back some light, not necessarily defense, but just, at least give some answers to what these people are saying or at least some defense, I guess. But I don't expect him to silence people, right? Like the crackhead chick, the meth addict, what's her name, Mona? If she says something, I don't expect him to edit it out. So when Adin said whatever he said about Joe, of course, I don't feel like that about Joe, right? Like Adin yesterday, we were at some place in New York. He's like, yo, Joe's irrelevant. I'm like, no, he's not. Joe's pretty lit. But I'm not going to sit here and just defend, be like, no, you can't talk about Joe. So I've thought that's, what it is, par for the course. But for whatever reason, Joe called me today, and Joe was on the podcast, but he felt like he was wondering if maybe I don't fuck with him. And I was like, no, Joe, that's not the case. I rock with you. You're always my guy. But of course, like, I rock with Adin too. And obviously I would like for you and Adin to be friends. He said, fuck Adin, by the way. I'm like, all right. But if you guys can't be friends, I can't like tell him he could never talk about you. Or I can't tell you could never talk about him. I don't have that power. So anyway, the conversation I had with Joe today was primarily about, he said things were getting in his head that maybe I don't fuck with him. I said, what? Now, this was very, very like interesting to me because Joe is one of those people that I feel like he's never listens to the crowd. He goes by what his own analyzation is or analysis. And he admitted to me, he's like, yo, I'm listening to the people. And I said, who is telling you this? I thought maybe it was one of his castmates or his co-hosts. He's like, no. He's like, I've been listening to the Reddit. I said, no fucking way. The Reddit? Bro, like with all due respect to all y'all niggas on Reddit, I don't read my Reddit. My Reddits are straight losers. Like, it's the niggas who like, they've been obsessed with me and I've been just looking at them like, this is now turned to odd because there's nothing complimentary here. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with Joe. Like, they want to see destruction. They want to see a fire. They want to see a dumpster fire. So I was actually shocked when Joe said he was listening to his Reddit and that got in his ear to make him ask me today if I rock with him. Joe, like I tell Adam and I tell everybody else, your Reddit is the weirdos of your audience. That's like the weirdest people. Y'all got to get on Discord, normal people. Look at your comment section on YouTube, normal people. Usually a Reddit is there to see. Your Reddit, I guarantee the Joe Budden Reddit is most active when it seems like the podcast is going to explode. They're not active to watch you like really do good and accomplish great things. Fucking haters. You know what I mean? So I've never liked any Reddit audience. I've never seen one that's good. But yeah, Joe. And I guess I'm beating him to the punch because he's dropping it at midnight, right? Or it's probably out now. Or maybe it's on Patreon. Hopefully not. Joe, I love you. I wish you and Adin Ross could get along. But if you guys can't, I will love both of you in different corridors, right? I do it in rap. I love 6ix9ine and I love 21 Savage. Don't look like it'll be anytime soon I get them both together to be friends. But I could love both, right? It's all good. We'll talk about a bunch of stuff, including